I just bought this brand new tube. Very excited. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in Light. And all I do is I find the spots that are kind of either really red or where I have a pimple. Don't do a ton. I just do like a few spots that I feel like are gonna break through with my foundation. So I do that, and then I go in with my beauty blender and I kind of just buff it out. By covering this, I feel like it gives you an extra layer of coverage, even though my foundation is it's medium to full, but it's honestly it's full for me, and I feel like I need a lot of full coverage, so I think that's really nice. But this does help minimize the appearance of my acne or my scarring, so I tend to helps blend it out. And I make sure I get my eyes, because I don't really wear eyeshadow primer. I kind of just use this and the concealer, so I'll do that. Then I work my way up to my forehead. Put a little too much on my forehead today. Kind of work it back down if I do too much and use it on my cheek. Just gonna look in the mirror for a second. Make sure you get your hairline. It looks like I didn't get my hairline right now, but I did. Okay, so I just finished doing the problem areas with my foundation. This is what it looks like with, I should say, a pump, probably 2 pumps for the first layer, and not even a full pump for the second layer on my cheeks. But now I'm going to go in with my Shape Tape from Tarte for my concealer. On days that I don't have it, and like I've been out for the last week, I use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is definitely one of my favorites, but it is very full coverage, so it tends to sometimes cake if I use too much underneath my eyes, and that's really just what I use the concealer for. I don't really contour or anything, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to start making a line. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down in between my nose, and that's going to help me blend out all the concealer that's stuck in my crevice that will not blend out for me with my beauty blender and just my foundation. I'm going to put some there. I'm going to do a little fan motion up here, and then I'm going to go in and do the same thing to my other side. So I'm just going to blend that out. Just kind of work it down. I do wear glasses, so I really don't know why I do this step, because it kind of just covers it or like makes my glasses fall faster. But I just feel like it should be part of my routine. And then I'm just going to blend out the other. So I just blended all my concealer in. Like I said, I don't contour, so it kind of just looks like I did my under eyes and my forehead, which I did. Nothing too crazy. But now I'm going to go in with the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. This is the Illuminating Mineral Veil. But I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do with it. So I used to wear this all over my face, but it has like a weird shimmer to it, and I did not like the way it looked. So I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm just going to dip. I'm going to get about that much. It was just one dip. And I'm going to pat it under my eyes. Now, I used to do this with just regular setting powder. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can definitely see the shimmer in it. It really brightens my under eye. Even though there's a shimmer, I don't love the shimmer, but I think that's what helps brighten my under eye. So I tried it one day and I really liked it. So I'm just going to leave that there. And I kind of just wipe my beauty blender like on a tissue or on my towel, because I hate when the powder gets stuck on it. But while that's baking, I take my Bye Bye Pores by IT Cosmetics. It's very beaten up. It's one of my favorite setting powders. I'm going to go in with my powder brush, and I'm going to just set my face. I'm going to do one more dip for my forehead, and then I'm going to do it over here. And now I look like a ghost. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Real Technique setting brush, and I'm just going to kind of wipe this all away. And I'm going to make sure I use a little bit of the excess powder on my top lid for when I do my eyeshadow. Now, it does leave a little bit of a shiny finish, which I said, like I had said, I don't like. So I'm going to go in with my CoverGirl Clean Professional Powder. This is one of my favorites. I believe that this was $6 or $8, and it is so full. Like, there's so much powder in here, and I will never buy like a Laura Mercier or Kat Von D one again, because it literally does the same thing, and it's so cheap. So I'm just going to dip into it and get a little bit on there and just kind of brush underneath my eye, because it does cover up that shimmer that we don't want. literally just a little bit, and then you're gonna tap. And I'm gonna do there. And then I just make sure I get my nose, because my glasses do slide when I don't powder my nose. So that's what it looks like. I know you still see the shimmer just because of the light, but it will go away, I promise. Okay, so now it's time to not make me look like a ghost anymore. So I'm gonna go in with my butter bronzer. I have hit pan in my old one, and I'm that girl that hits pan and just buys a new one, and I wish I wasn't like that because it cost me a lot of money in the end. But I actually ended up buying a darker shade, which worked better. This is Sun-Kissed bronzer, which I think is the second darkest. I think Deep is the darkest. So I kind of just gonna go in with my Real Techniques powder brush, and I'm gonna start bronzing my forehead. Make sure you get in your hairline, because if you miss your foundation in your hairline, this will kind of save you in the end because it'll match your hairline after. This is such a perfect shade, like, for anybody. It does not leave that matte, like, kind of burnt finish that, like, some bronzers do, and it smells like coconut. It smells so good. And I'm just gonna dip in again, and I'm kind of just gonna bronze right. That's how I do it. Okay, so now that I've done my bronzer, this is my new kind of step that I've put in my makeup routine. I saw Nicole Concilio do it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that, but I love a bright highlight. Like, I live for that. So I was like, I'm gonna try it with my butter highlighter. So what she does is she goes in first with her highlighter, and then she does her blush, which before last week I was doing my blush and then I was highlighting, which it looks nice either way, but I kind of like this way better because of one of the products that I'm going to use that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to dip my fan brush. This is my Morphe M310. I'm going to get a lot of product. These are really pigmented, but I want a lot because I noticed that when you highlight your cheekbone and you don't have blush on, and I think this is just a me thing, you don't see it very well. You kind of see it like reflecting, but you don't see the pinky color that it is. And that's when I started using the product I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to dip in again, and I'm going to do the other side. Kind of sets me up for like a more bright highlight, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. I'm going to get my nose. Okay, so now that I'm highlighted, you can kind of see it on camera just because of the lighting, but then I'm going to go in with my Anastasia blush kit. And those are the 4 colors if you've never seen it. I'm gonna hit all of them, and then I'm gonna start at the apple of my cheek, and I'm gonna work my way up. I know this looks like a lot, but it will blend out. Then I'm gonna do some on my forehead, and on my nose, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so my blush is all done, and I know it looks super silly on this side, but it does not look that way in person. I don't know why the camera's doing that. But I'm gonna go in with my Beauty Blender and my CoverGirl setting powder again. I'm gonna undo it, and I'm going to dip my Beauty Blender in there. I'm going to pull all the hair away. I'm going to bake. Oops. I'm just going to kind of wipe the excess powder and from my shirt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Almay Make Them Jelly Highlight. While that's baking, this is what it looks like, by the way. I think you guys have seen it if you watched my other video. Definitely one of my favorites. I'm just going to swirl my finger lightly on the top of the highlighter. And I'm going to dab onto my cheek. And I'm going to go up the side of my temple. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I feel like this camera's not giving this highlighter credit. It's literally blinding in person. So now I'm going to go in with the bottom of my Beauty Blender. I'm just going to kind of bounce it up and down. This kind of just helps like make sure there's no chunks from it, because it is like a gel consistency, so it kind of just blends out the chunks and kind of just smoothens it out. And sometimes I like to hit my nose and up here if I have a little bit left. So that's what that looks like. Now you can see it. So I love this because it really does give you a great highlight, and I think that putting the butter highlighter under it really gives it a good base to glow on. So I'm going to go back in with my setting brush, and I'm just going to brush all of this powder away. And then I'm going to go in with my powder brush that I originally used. There's nothing on it. I'm just going to blend and make sure there's no more powder left anywhere. Okay. That's what the finished look looks like. So now for brows. I'm going to be going in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I've been using this for easily 3 years. I had switched to the Anastasia pomade for a while, and it was making my brows a little too thick, so I decided to just go back to the pencil. So I'm just going to brush all my hairs up. I really need my eyebrows done, so don't judge me here. I'm going to brush them up, and then I'm going to go underlining them. Going to underline the bottom of them. I just have to check in the mirror. This is hard to do on camera. Okay, so the bottom is underlined, and then you're gonna go in the top. Cut out the arch. So I just kind of carved out the shape of them just so it's easier to follow when I'm doing it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few strokes in the front to kind of feather the front hairs up and then kind of work my way in. I'm running out, so I'm trying to like push it up as much as possible. Kind of do the same thing, make little strokes. I'm literally like at the end of it. This is not good. And then you're just going to brush one more time in an upward motion and let them stay like that. I'm going to do the other one off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished the other brow, and my last step for brows is using the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. It's just kind of gel for your lashes. I guess you could use this on your eyes, but I don't think I ever would. I kind of just brush them up and into the position that they are. Kind of just hold them in place all day. Just like that. So for my next step, I would normally do eyeshadow, but I'm going to be filming the Norvina palette review and tutorial. So I'm going to use this time now to do that, so I'll come back after when my eyes are done, but make sure you check out the Norvina video that was posted before this video, and make sure you give it a thumbs up if you like it. So I'm going to go do my eyeshadow, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, I just did my eyes, and if you watch my last video, you will see how I achieved this look. I absolutely loved the palette. It's hands down my new favorite palette. Definitely a different formula, I believe, in the shimmers at least, than the Subculture palette. If you saw me struggle with that in a few videos ago, that was really a hot mess, and I'm sorry you had to watch that actually. And honestly, like, these are just, it's a different ball game. Absolutely one of the best palettes, but make sure you watch my video on the palette, and I'm also doing a tutorial on this look. But now I'm going to jump into my mascara, which is my last step of my get ready with me. I have the Tarte eyelash curler. It's so old, but it's honestly, it's so cute, so I just don't get rid of it. Kind of just do this. I try to stay away from my eyeshadow with the metal part because it will grab some of it, especially like the shimmer shades. So just be careful with that. I don't really curl them long or do like anything special. Just kind of curl them for like 10 seconds. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and this is one of my favorite mascaras. I think my top mascara is the It Superhero one. Got it for free for my birthday a few years ago, and it honestly like changed my life, but I don't know why I didn't buy it. I recently got my lash extensions off, so I had to go back to using mascara, and when I did, I kind of just went back to my holy grail here. So what I do is I don't really do anything special. I just kind of try to get them as long and as much volume as possible. Okay, so I just finished doing my mascara. You saw me do one eye, I did the other eye off camera. I don't think it's too interesting, but I guess my mascara is not my last step. My lipstick is my last step. So I'm gonna line it with the lip liner from NYX. The color is Nude Pink. Just gonna kind of line my lips. I don't overline my lips or anything. I just do it to give them shape. And I'll do the top. Can't really see this color just because it is nude pink. But then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced. This is called Nude Beach. Just to give my lip a little bit of color. I was thinking about doing a purple lip, but I'm not going to get crazy today. Then I'm going to go in with my NYX Lingerie Gloss. This is the shade Honeymoon. I'm just going to do some of that. Okay, and now this is the completed look, and I will be right back to give you a final review. Again, this is my finished look. This is something I would do every day. My eyeshadow, not so much, kind of like a weekend thing, but this is the face that I wear every day. Everything that I put on is something that I wear every day. I work in heat for 9 hours a day, and I still wear the same thing. Sometimes I'll just do like a shimmer on my eyelid, but give you guys a full glam today. So if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe and like below. If you have any questions about anything I used, you can feel free to comment or go over to my Instagram, which is at makeupdoneby_Bianca. You can message me or you can comment on any of the pictures. Chances are something I've used in here is on there in a post. So feel free to message me on one of the posts or on a DM, anything that you like. I will answer. I check my social media often, so feel free to leave a comment there. Or if you have anything positive to say, you can leave that down below too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.